So you know what? I think you guys touched on something, and that is, everybody, wants to be funny, or everybody thinks that. I tell people all the time, I'm one of the top 5 funniest people I know. But you guys are able to maneuver through different audiences, different crowds, different demographics, and that's a skill, that's a craft. Marvin, I'm gonna come back to you real quick. Talk about the grind that goes into it, because Rodney started to talk about it and you touched on it. You're honing your craft. Talk about the grind that goes into it, because we see the finished product where you guys are up there for 5 minutes, or you get a comedy special for half an hour. It looks refined and polished, but what is the grind like? What is the day-to-day? What is the smaller clubs and venues or travel?
Oh my God, it's the chitlin circuit, man. Out of 7, well, when I first got in the game, all the guys, the big guys at that time, the Bicos and the Damon Williams, they told me, out of 7 days, you on stage at least 5 nights out the week. And I've always worked I've always been a truck driver. So I'm getting out of a truck and I'm hitting stages, every night, and for that 2-3 minutes, for that and depending on how many comics there, that shortens that time. So it starts out as 5 minutes, but if it's 30 guys there, now people just like, well, I do 3 minutes just to get on stage.
Gotcha.
And like Rodney said, man, it's taking you days and weeks and months for 2 and 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You're writing and taking L's and, trying new stuff. Stuff ain't working. You're going in bars and you're doing comedy in places that you shouldn't even be talking in, and people, really don't even give a damn about you. But right. I think that's in Chicago where we really get good at, because not only didn't come for comedy, they don't care for comedy, but when you start making those people laugh, and then you get those people coming to a bar on a Tuesday night for comedy, you've really got good, bro. It's like you really doing something, because those people didn't come here for comedy. They wanted a drink. They was actually mad that people was talking, but then you were able to turn that crowd into a comedy crowd. So it's just stuff like that, man. We was doing comedy in laundromats, wherever we could do it at, man. Yeah. We was stopping while people was putting loads of laundry in wash machines. It's a grind, bro. For real.
Oh, y'all was doing comedy in laundromats?
83rd Street, by this club City Life, we was doing comedy in the laundromat. And people was coming in washing. We'll take a break, do it again. It's crazy. And the neighborhood is fucking dangerous. So it was like, it was 2 things. It's dangerous and we don't supposed to be in the damn laundromat.
Was it clean comedy?
Coach.
Was it clean?
Yeah, see.
That's a lame joke.
They give y'all some free tokens for the show.
Marvin is braver than I am.
83rd.
Marvin is braver than I am.
Oh man, Dwayne, what about you? What was that experience like?
Man, well, like I said, like Marvin is braver than me. That brother's braver than me. I know what he means though about just doing shows and going up where you can, and going back to the thing you were saying about being a comedian as opposed to just being funny, because the other thing that changes is not only the fact that once you are on stage, the audience now has a higher level of expectation. Their scrutiny is higher. You know what I mean? As opposed to when you standing around, you at the barbershop or you at a party or you at the family reunion, once you step on that stage, people's level of expectation goes up, so you have to meet that. But yeah, just going up where you can, man. And it's interesting. I don't know. Just finding yourself and finding your voice and finding who you are, and how you develop, and part of that is, you go on, you try different material, you try things, people laugh at things, they don't laugh at things, they accept things, they don't. And it's funny to see how you go on stage and you tell people who you are, but then sometimes the audience tells you who you are, by what they're accepting from you and what they're not, Yeah. So I love it, man. I love the process. You never stop learning. You know, like now I'm meeting, I'm meeting Marvin, cats, online. Of course, we're not trying to get COVID, but I'm saying, just to see different cats and see how they do it, and and their experiences. Man, I love it. I love it because you never stop learning.
Cool, great, Rodney. How about you?
They was talking about more of the stage game. I didn't think I want to talk like more of just the writing part and going over your material. I remember I was doing a weekend at Jokes and Notes, and the headliner, I think his name was G something. He was
G-Thang.
You said what?
Was it G-Thang?
No, not G-Thang. I know what you're talking about. Now, I can't remember. It was a long time ago. And after the show, he asked me to take him to the hotel. I think they were staying down at the Marriott or whatever. So I took him to the hotel. He's like, man, let's go in and get a drink. He went in, got a drink, and...
Oh, Rodney, you froze a little bit.
Okay. Woo, I thought that was just
lost
me.
You. Rodney, you might have to log off and log back in. We lost you. While we're waiting on Rodney.
Lose me?
Yeah, Rodney,
Hold on,
we
one second.
lost you. We lost the signal. While we're waiting on Rodney, we have a couple questions from people that are watching while we're waiting on Rodney to unfreeze. So another question from Dennis Sibbett, and he wants to know, I know this is something that's been discussed, not necessarily as it relates to comedy, but just the arts in general, and that is, should teachers or people within the school system encourage people, I don't want to say class clowns, but those that have a gift for entertainment, should they be encouraging those people to participate in the arts? I can't remember the comedian, was it Robin Harris or someone? They said that, or maybe it was Dave Chappelle, they said that they had a teacher that would allow him to get up in front of class for the last 2 or 3 minutes of class once a week if he wasn't disruptive. He would give him a couple minutes to do a bit, and that's how he really got into comedy. Do you think that teachers should be encouraging those students as opposed to stifling that creativity? And Rodney, we're going to come back to you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Marvin, what do you think?
I think so, because I had a teacher like that. I had a teacher that found a way to connect with me and sort of was like, instead of me being, because a comedian or a funny kid, you're going to get your jokes off in class. Like I was going to make y'all laugh, at some point.
Right.
So my teacher knew that. And so she designated the time for me to, okay, Marvin, do what you do. And after that was done, we go back. So, and at that time, I didn't even, like I said, I never even thought about doing comedy. I just wanted to be funny, just make people laugh in school. But I definitely think teachers should, especially those special kids who, I used to make teachers laugh all the time, and teachers would tell me, I'm not even supposed to be laughing at you, but I guess it would have to take those teachers who have a knack for talent to recognize that in a student, to do so. But I don't think it'll hurt if they did,
Okay. Dwayne, how about you? Your thoughts on teachers allowing students to express themselves, creatively, as opposed to trying to stifle that creativity, kind of borderline encouraging without being disruptive?
No, I agree. I think you should definitely encourage that, because that might be the thing that keeps that student engaged for the rest, for the other parts of the class, and everybody's good at whatever they're good at. And if that's what, or wants to be heard, everybody wants to be heard. And if this is the way this student expresses themselves, and and you can, and this is a judgment call, but if you can see, like Marvin was saying, he was making the teachers laugh. So they obviously thought he was funny. So you can see he's got talent. So if you see somebody that's got some talent, I think that should be part of the school experience. You're encouraging students to fulfill whatever talents they have, So I definitely think that should be encouraged, not to the point where if it's just disrupting the class, but,
right.
Giving, setting some time aside and say, now it's time, because you never know that, like I said, that might be the thing that keeps that kid engaged. you know, and gives that kid some insight. Oh man, this is something I can do, you know, maybe this is something I can do in life. Yeah, you just never know, man. But you never want to stifle creativity, man. And I think that's why it's such a shame now with schools eliminating arts programs and, you know what I mean, gym and all that stuff, man. Just, I mean, granted, the world needs, you know, computer programmers and all that stuff, but everybody can't be a computer programmer. Everybody's not interested in that. And at some point, computer programmers want to laugh too, you know, or they want to appreciate a work of art and all those things, man. So that just makes for a well-rounded individual, I think.
So I'm gonna come back to Rodney. Shout out first off, a couple people that are tuning in watching. Kim Sylvester, Hardy, Danielle Watkins, Antonella Cremonese, Dennis Sibbett, CJ Lauren, Michelle Lee, Kenneth Brown, Tina Farley. You know, we got people tuning in. You know, thank you guys for your questions, for chopping it up with us, Brett McPherson, and also for sharing the post because they've been sharing it with people, so getting the word out, getting stories out. So I'm glad we got Rodney back. I thought the Cylons had got you from Battlestar Galactica. You know, you're like, so before we lost you though, you were talking about the grind and the work that you put into refining your material.
Right. I think it is captured in this story. Like I said, I was finishing up and I'm gonna speed through this show at Jokes and Notes. And as I was dropping the hairliner off at the hotel, we went in to get a drink and they had like a Miss Teen USA thing going on. Okay. So they were chaperones that was in the lobby. They had just put the contestants to sleep. So it was like mainly the parents. It's a lot of, to make a long story short, a lot of nice looking women in the lobby. So I'm with the headliner. You say what?
I'll say what? I'm not a lot of nice and horny people wandering the hotel trying to find
a lot of nice looking women in the lobby. So I'm with the headliner, and you know, they engaged us in conversation, and he's talking, man, and he's cracking them up. I mean, they laughing, they dying. And I'm trying to get some words in, but he's on a roll. I'm like, I can't really say nothing, so I'm just sitting back chilling. And then I realized, I'm like, this dude is doing his set. He was doing the same set that he did at Jokes and Notes. And so far, with the beauty contestants, and I was like, I was like, I'm not going over my material enough. I need to be that familiar and that comfortable with my material. So now when I write, I'll bounce a joke off anybody in my circle, you know, just to get some feedback to see if it's funny and make them laugh. So I was like, man, that's part of the grind is being so comfortable and familiar with your material that you can just like flow so smoothly. And I'm like, I was like, they thought he was the funniest dude on earth. I'm like, that's insane.
Hey, that's what happens, man.
That's like cheating, ain't it?
Yeah, I thought, well, hey, I guess it's all good.
I used to do that.
You said that because comedy can happen, or something funny or comedic can happen anywhere, anytime, and any place.